And I believe that there's one basic need that encompasses them all. And that is the sense of feeling worthy. To be worthy, to not be rejected, to be valued, to be worthy, honestly in yourself, to be worthy so that you can open up and be proud of who you are. This is so vital, to be worthy of love, to be respected. And it's because we don't feel worthy that we don't want to open up and we don't want to be intimate. The result of your parent traps is to shame and destroy the soul of man, to demean them and make them feel unworthy. And the opposite of that is that I love you. I love you through all your problems. No matter what you do, I love you. I love you intrinsically. You are valuable intrinsically. And you're being stupid now, but it has nothing to do with your value. You will come out of this. You will work out of this. You will have the problems that you've got and you will walk through these things. And I love you unconditionally forever. My dad was alcoholic and Mom was a codependent. Mother learned to be a rescuer in her family. She was the caretaker for all the little kids. My dad had been married before. I found out I had a half a brother some time ago. And Dad played his insane game forever. These two met, and it was like a match made in heaven. The bad little boy and the mother who was going to fix him. And they've lived their whole lives in this insanity. And they have never changed. Never ever changed. And the children were brought into that home, witnessed that dumb relationship and the thousands of games. My father, from year to year, always came up with ever increasingly clever ways to demand the attention of the family. We couldn't go anywhere. We had to think about him. The only way I understand my father is to understand that emotionally he's 5 years old. He has to be the center of attention. We'd go on a picnic and he'd be mad. We'd go to a restaurant, he would get mad. We'd go on a vacation, he would get mad. And I got sick of it. At a certain point in my life, I said, I don't want to be with the family anymore. I'm tired of being in trouble. I'm tired of being the stupid one. Could your kids ever feel like that? And I wanted to pull away and get away from it. I didn't enjoy the company of my father. We could not communicate. I could never get the straight story from him. I never felt that he came clean. Never did. And so I went through and I processed a lot of this. And then I came to a point where I realized how much good this had been. What a great experience that this had been. This is not sour grapes. I'm where I am today in a much better place because of the difficult times I've had. And they have been very, very hard times. But my father was a problem. He was a big problem. And he took the energy of the home so that the children began to have role reversal, where we became the parents and took care of these little children that were our parents. And we have had to become much more responsible. And inside there's a certain resentment for that, because I need a father. I need a place to go. I deserve that. When I wanted a father, I would go there and Dad would say, I'm looking for a father, get out of here. You know, in so many words. Because he was needy. Now, as we are needy, we need to recognize our needs and then go about in a legitimate, honest way to satisfy those needs. Not in some neurotic way. Neurosis is a counterfeit way to grant and to satisfy your real legitimate needs. All right? Alcoholism or raging or being a workaholic or a churchaholic. All those behaviors are absolutely counterfeit ways to satisfy legitimate needs. And we hurt when our needs are not met. Now, I saw Papa hurt Mama. I saw him twist her arm. I saw her withhold the keys. And he went after her and he said, give me the keys. And he'd already started to drink. And once you start to drink, if you know about alcoholism, it just is a down, 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 down thing. They go through the whole cycle. And so he said, give me the keys. No, you're not going to go out. You're not going to spend the money. Dad was from the South and women don't do that. You don't take that from women. So he was whacking her around. My sister told me that my job when I was a little boy was if Dad ever had Mother down and he was choking her and going to kill her or something, that I was to run in on her signal, you know, or if I didn't see it, and I was to run in with my little wooden bat. You know, little kids have these little teeny bats. And I was to come up behind him and conk him on the head as hard as I could and then drop the bat and run. That was my job. Is that pretty heavy for a little 5-year-old? What do you think? Or a 4-year-old? Or a 50-year-old? Is that pretty heavy? Now, I've blocked it out. I blanked out. I cannot remember a thing about that. My sister said, no, that was your job. And I vaguely remember something about that now, but I've totally blanked it. It's a very unpleasant thing. And a lot of you have lots of your past that you can't remember a thing. Years and years maybe, some of you, that wasn't pleasant. So Dad was hurting Mama. Give me the keys. I'm going to do what I want. And she says, no. And I was down at the end of the hall. And he had her arm up back behind her. And they were down at the end of the hall by the door. And Mama saw me, and I saw the pain on her face. And sometimes when I tell the story, I have this bad feeling in my gut. Do you know? This scary, bad feeling, this foreboding. And I can remember today Mama's face. And she saw me looking, and she said something to Papa. And he opened the door behind her and shoved her in there and slammed the door. And they were yelling in there. He was yelling. That's child abuse. That's not just hitting somebody. That's child abuse. That's destroying them inside and hurting them deeply. Now, my mother put up with that for years. And I have some anger around that issue. Mother should have stopped that. She should have left him. And she did sometimes. And then he'd show up again, and he would promise and promise she'd take him back. The same old sick story. Year after year after year after year. And my father today is 90 years old in a rest home, and they are still playing the same games of control. Do you believe me? Absolutely. He can't walk. Absolutely. He can't walk. And they're still playing the same head games. And I said, oh, Mama, stop it. There will be no healing till there's a spiritual healing. There will be no healing until we psychologically get on ourselves and understand the correct principles. No more criticizing and discounting. No more frightening and threatening. No more child abuse. Our children need our unconditional love and acceptance. We're not to treat them like they're stupid. We're to love them and honor them and protect them. They're sacred charges. There's nothing that you'll ever do in your life that's more important than build your family relationships. And whatever else you might achieve in life, if you fail in establishing the relationships in your home, you will have failed the greatest opportunity to be happy. Buildings are destroyed. The things, the honors that we get are fickle. They go. But the relationships that we establish are the source and the key of our happiness. The most important things we will ever do in our lives.